All right, so today I want to talk about a follow up to my video about rental properties, single family rentals, row homes in Philly. And I'm really excited to talk about this because I really want to break down the numbers to you guys. Even when I was breaking down the numbers, I'm like, wow, like, okay, this is what it could be, right? This is what it could be. Definitely go check out the video. I'll put the link in the description, but check out the video. And basically, it was a single family property that I purchased, and I plan to rent it out to a Section 8 tenant. And I'm happy to say that I do have a Section 8 tenant in there now. Very nice lady. She's happy with the property. I'm getting my rent every month on the first, and tomorrow is the first, so I will see that in there. And that's one of the good things about Section 8. I can't lie about that. Not that it's easy to do, but it's definitely doable, right? And if I can do it, you can do it, right? And I'll help you do it as well. But really, what I want to talk about is what that property is going to look like as a long-term investment. All right. Again, I don't know. I don't know if it's hard to get rich quick, but I would say it's a much easy. I want to say that. Let me not even say anything like that. All I'm going to say is that if you do this, you'll definitely be better off later. That's all I'm saying. If you do this now, you will be better off later. Whether it's 5, 10, 15 years from now, you will be better off. All right. So I'm going to break down the numbers to you. And if you have any questions, again, reach out, DM, contact me. I'm always here to help in case you're interested in getting something like this and putting that in your portfolio. Let me know. So let's go. Let's go to the whiteboard. I love going to the whiteboard. And I've already written out all the numbers here. All right. Purchase price, I just rounded off 75. I think I might have got it for 72 or something like that, but let's say 75, right? Initial out of pocket costs. This is my closing. This is my down payment. Again, I got this through a rehab loan, so I was able to improve the property. And we want to improve the property because now we'll have more equity in the property, and the plan is really to refinance, right? So we're able to refinance. So my out-of-pocket cost was $15,213. Holding costs, this is above and beyond, the rehab loan. I had to pay mortgage interest on the loan, utility cost, different things like that. So just about $8,000. But I wasn't able to refi it, right? Because the property did appraise for about 180, something like that, 170. And I was able to get back on my refi $5,358. Okay. So that means my total out of pocket cost was my initial out of pocket, right, of the $15,213 plus my $8,000 in holding minus the refi, because that's more like a credit. So I'm total out of pocket is $17,855. So this rounded up to about $18,000 out of pocket. All right. So the ARV now I went at 170 because we did have to reappraise it to get the refinance done. Can't remember if it was exactly 170 or 180, but we're gonna go with the lower number, 170. And my refi amount was $119,000. So I have a mortgage note in the amount of $119,000 with a monthly payment of $1,228. $1,228. Now, bank rate mortgage calculator. You guys have to start using that if you're not using it already. I'll put the link in the description. And you're able to, get what your mortgage payment amounts would be, but it's also able to amortize your loan so you can see how much you're paying in interest, how much the principal is going down, what your monthly payment is every month, and it will do that for 30 years, okay? So in this example, I wanted just to go out 15 years. I've been very successful with putting mortgages on a 15-year note and paying the interest down much quicker, and I definitely advise you guys to do that if you are able to, because the monthly payment amount will not go up that much, but your return on how quick you pay that mortgage down and the less interest you end up paying is gold. So keep that in mind if you can do it. And I also stress that because not that many of us are disciplined enough to say, okay, you know what, we're going to add an extra $300 every single month on the mortgage payment. Some of us are, right? But some of us aren't. And it's just better if you could do that. Now, this property is still gonna make me some more money because one of the things that I don't have up here is, that I forgot to put up here, is the interest rate. Currently, when I refinanced this property, credit wasn't the best, right? So credit wasn't the best. And also the mortgage rates were super high, right? So the mortgage rate I have on this, the interest rate, is actually 10.1%, which is pretty high. The mortgages rates have the interest rates have came down since then. So ultimately I'll refinance again. And what that's gonna ultimately do is bring this monthly payment down. So it's at $12.28. Rates are like 7 right now. You know, maybe I get something 7.5, but I'm not in such a rush to refi. Let's see what the rates do, because I definitely do want to get the best rate I can, and I don't want to have to refi, you know, for some time after that. But let's see. But this mortgage payment will go down, all right? So just keep that in mind. So assuming the mortgage payment is what it is, we're going to leave it there. In 15 years, if I don't add any additional payments, I will have a balance of $93,988 left to pay on this mortgage note. All right, keep that in mind, $93,988. But if I'm able to add $100, and I should be, because I do have my HCV Section 8 tenant, and I'm collecting rent at $1,363. So it's not much of a cash flow, but it is a positive cash flow. So now my monthly profit, $135. So let's say I take $35 to treat myself to something, maybe treat myself to a nice meal, or, you know, whatever it is I may want to do. And I just put $100 on every additional payment. Instead of $93,000 I still have left on my note, I will have $45,000 left on my note, just from an extra $100 a month. That's a huge difference. That's almost a $45,000. That's more than $45,000. $48,000 difference. So if you're able to put it on a 15-year, do it. If you can't put it on a 15-year, still try to make the payment, because you don't have to be on a 15-year to get the results of a 15-year. You just need to make that payment consistently every month over the years, okay? So now we have to do future value. I'll put a link in the bio to a future value calculator. But you can also ask Chat. Chat is my boy, ChatGPT. He'll help you with the future value if you need to know. So in 15 years, the future value of this property, if we're assuming, and I went actually very conservative. I assumed 2% annual appreciation, which real estate is typically more than that. So I went using that compounded yearly. For 15 years, you'll get $228,000 would be the future value of this property. And I think that's a very conservative assumption, all right? So what do the final numbers look like? Let's look at it. My equity in 15 years. So theoretically, if I was gonna sell that property in 15 years and everything happened as I said it was gonna happen, I was putting that $100 extra every month. I didn't even refi, I just left it at 10.1%. And the future value appreciated at 2% yearly, right? So it'd be 228,000 minus that 45. I would have ultimately $183,000 if I was to sell that property, or I have $183,000 of equity in that property in 15 years. And the great thing about that is, how much did I come out of pocket? This is where's my number? Ultimately, almost an $18,000 investment, which has an annual return of 25%, total ROI of 924%, right? So I think that's amazing. You know, a lot of times it's not about who wins the race or who runs the race the fastest. It's just who can endure, right? Real estate can be a marathon. Obviously, you're gonna need your fix and flips here, fix and flips there, but it's always good to try to, you know, build that long-term wealth. You know, this could be something, like I said, I pass down to my kids. It could be something when they're 15 years old or 18 years old, getting ready to go to college. I don't have to worry about that. I don't have to worry about that. And I think that it's easy enough to do. As long as you're willing to play the long game, you'll be successful. I've had properties that I've put on 15-year mortgages and I was able to sell them, all of them for big 6-figure payouts. You know what I'm saying? So just keep that in mind. Again, if you're interested in investing in real estate, hit me up. Definitely would love to work with you, help you build your portfolio. I definitely think, long-term rentals, even single family homes, again, you're not making much cash flow. Although ultimately, when I do refi, I could probably make more cash flow, which means if I choose to, I can pay the mortgage note down faster, right? And then this number ultimately wouldn't be 183K. It might be gone. I mean, not it might be gone, but it might be that I pay the loan off depending on how much extra I'm able to put in. And again, nothing more out of my pocket than the $17,855 because the rent is covering that plus more. Okay? Hope this was helpful, and that's all I got for today.